Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Ginger Fox here, and we're going to be getting into a creepy urban legend called Dr. Blood. Dr. Blood is a scary urban legend about a haunted cemetery in Lansing, Michigan. Legend has it that years ago a murderer named Dr. Blood committed horrible crimes there. Oh god, of course. They say that his ghost kills anyone who visits the cemetery on Halloween night. Why Halloween night? That's fucked up. The legend of Dr. Blood begins with an old cemetery near Lansing, Michigan. A wealthy family with the last name Blood lived in the area and they built the cemetery on their land. God. Sometime in the 1800s, they say that the Bloods were a family of doctors, and each successive generation of the Blood family produced at least one doctor. Oh God. The last surviving member of the Blood family was an old man named Dr. Blood. He was reclusive and lived with his wife in the rundown family mansion. The couple kept to themselves and neighbors rarely saw them. Kids in the area were afraid of the old ramshackle mansion beside the graveyard and gave it the nickname Bloodhouse. Oh God. As often as often happens when there is a scary old house in the vicinity, vicinity, I think you pronounce it. A legend grew up around Bloodhouse. Kids who lived close by began to spin stories and spread rumors. They said that Dr. Blood had murdered his wife. According to the legend, he had killed her with a shotgun, then shot her body with an axe. When he was finished, he hung himself from a crooked tree in the cemetery. The story was that the cemetery was now haunted by the ghosts of Dr. Blood and his wife. Their parents said the rumors were untrue, of course, but all the local teenagers believed them. One Halloween night, the moon was full and it lit up the night sky. Fog rolled in from the nearby lake and it was drifting over the cemetery. At midnight, they had heard the legends and believed that the cemetery and the house were abandoned. The atmosphere was dark and foreboding. By the light of the moon, they could see the old gravestones. Shoot, if I ever done something like that, I would not be going by myself. Not saying that they did go by themselves, but it's like if I ever go into a haunted house or even a cemetery, I sure as shit ain't going by myself. A haunted cemetery, I mean. Some had been toppled over and others were broken. The cemetery was overgrown and the weeds were about knee high. Oh God. They stepped through the rusted iron gates and saw a sign hanging above them that read Blood Cemetery, keep out. Wouldn't that be a good idea to just not go in? One of the teenagers had planned to play a prank on the others. He had taken one of his mother's old white nightgowns, and when no one was looking, he hung it from the crooked tree in the cemetery. However, before he could put his plan into action, he heard one of the girls let out a blood-curdling scream. She said that she had seen a ghostly figure moving behind the gravestones. It looked like an old woman in a red nightgown. She appeared to be headless and armless, and the girl said that it was coming right towards her, when it suddenly disappeared into thin air. The other teenagers thought the girl was just being dramatic and making up stories to get attention. But would she really do that, though? I mean, I guess some people would do that, but I mean, just randomly out of the blue? The boy who had hung the nightdress from the tree looked around and found that it was gone. What? Ooh, shoot. Feeling a little spooked, the teenagers started to make their way out of the cemetery. Good choice. One of the boys dared the other to break into Bloodhouse. No. The other boy agreed, thinking the old mansion was abandoned. Don't do that. Even if it is abandoned, don't do that. The boy walked up to the old mansion and climbed into the window as his friends stood in the cemetery and waited for him. After about an hour, the boy had not returned, and his friends were very scared. Too afraid to investigate the menacing-looking house, they jumped into the car and headed for the nearest police station. When they told the police what they had been doing, the officer on duty said, "Don't you kids know any better? Oh, Dr. Blood lives out there, and he doesn't like anyone trespassing on his property." Oh my God. The policeman drove out to the cemetery with the teenagers following behind in their car. When they arrived, they were shocked to see that the old mansion was ablaze. Uh, The policemen called the fire department and they tried to put out the fire, but it raged out of control and blood haze was burned to the ground. When the flames were finally quenched, the firemen sifted through the rubble and found the charred remains of the teenage boy who had gone into the house. The other kids were devastated by the death of their friend and watched in horror as his burned corpse was carried out of the ruins. The most disturbing thing was that the boy's hands and feet had been tied with rope. Oh my god. Beside him, they found a shotgun and a bloody axe. See, this is what happens when you fuck around, man. You get yourself or your friends killed. In the morning light, the police searched the cemetery and found a freshly dug grave, but it had no headstone. When they unearthed it, they found a pine coffin. Inside lay the headless body of a woman. She was dressed in a red gown, and her arms, legs, and head had been cut off. When the police brought the body back to the lab for testing, they discovered that it was Dr. Blood's wife. The remains of Dr. Blood were never found, and nobody knows what happened to him. What the fuck? Ever since then, they said that the ghost of Dr. Blood roams the cemetery at night, with a shotgun in one hand and an axe in the other. They say that his ghost kills anyone who visits the cemetery on Halloween night. And boy, did he did. That he did. One boy who went out to Blood Cemetery said he saw a ghost of an old man wandering around the graveyard as if he was lost. Another boy saw a ghostly apparition of a man carrying a dead body. The corpse appeared to be headless and armless. How long is this? Sorry, I guess I checked to see how long it was. Another group of teenagers were exploring Blood Cemetery at night, when all of a sudden they heard a shotgun blast. They ran back to the car and found that the windows had been shattered. Frightened, they fled and vowed never to go back, so you shouldn't. Fuck around and see what find out, you know? A teenage boy went out to Blood Cemetery riding his motorcycle. His girlfriend was sitting on the back of the bike. After taking photos in the old graveyard, they left. The motorcycle went out of control and crashed into a tree. The boy only suffered minor injuries, but the girl was paralyzed from the waist down. Oh no. Even today, she's only able to walk with the aid of crutches. I feel bad. In 1989, two high school girls wanted to have fun on Halloween night. After hearing the legend, they drove out to Blood Cemetery. Why? Why? Their car went out of control and plunged into the nearby round lake. Both girls were trapped in the car and drowned. Jeez. Oh my god. The county put up fence around the cemetery with razor wire strung along the top to keep vandals and trespassers out. If you're ever out on Round Lake Road and you see a full moon rising, don't visit Blood Cemetery. People say that when they go there at night, they get the distinct feeling that something in there is there watching them. Teenagers in the area have one rule: never ever go to Blood Cemetery alone. They say that if you go there by yourself, you won't ever come back. Yeah, we found that out. And this is what happens when you mess around with shit like this, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, though. As always, stay safe and take care. Love y'all. Bye-bye.